It's time for the semi-weekly podcast, and it's been a while. With the COVID and everything, we haven't had a lot of group rides, and I guess this is going to be a first. I've never really commented on a Friday ride before, but I figure, why not? Let's see what's going on. So we make the corner, and we've just come up towards County Road, I think 30, and we're going to head into Tinmath, and we're going to make this final effort. It looks like Justin was clipping in, like Ian was just getting there. Looks like Carrie getting organized, and there's Joel. But Curtis and I are making our way to the front because Isla and Kent and Greg are up the road. And if they decide to do something, this could in fact be dangerous, and we don't need to do any more chasing. So Curtis and I are in tow, and it looks like no one had come with us. And so we catch Greg. Greg has opportunity to sit on Curtis's wheel. I'm not quite certain if he did or not. I do not believe he did. So we come on Isla and Kent, and they're keeping some decent tempo. But and it looks like is that Mike Weta also in there? They've got some distance, and they don't seem to be alarmed that Curtis has come by. Kent looks over his shoulder to see if anybody else is coming. He did not jump on the wheel. Nobody else was coming. And at this point, Curtis and I have a small gap. And I mentioned to Curtis that we have a small gap. So we might as well work it. So Curtis starts throwing down some wattage. I throw down some wattage. And I think this is enough to keep away. And I can see that they are, in fact, not really doing anything. So it looks like Greg has decided that he needs to do something here, but I think it's too little and too late. There are big men in another group chasing back, and I'm going to say it was because of their hubris that they thought that they could let us go and they would bring us back because that's normally what happens. But you got Curtis on a new bike. And I know what Curtis's FTP is. He's pretty strong, and I know I can contribute. And so at this point, I'm throwing down, as you can see, 400 watts. They got to be putting something out to catch us. And maybe they don't realize it. And those guys back there, very few of them have power meters or anything, so they're basically in the blind. But Curtis and I know what we're doing. So at this point, Curtis launches. We've got a good gap. My job is done here. I'm pretty certain they're not going to catch Curtis. They might catch me. They don't end up doing so. But I want to keep a little pressure down anyhow, just to make them work for it and hopefully make it to the crest of the hill before they do, which I actually do, but barely. And I can see from the state of the masses that they were not super coordinated. Somebody sacrificed themselves to help in that chase. I don't know who it was, um, but good job at least realizing that if your team was to go up the road and assuming those people were considered to be your team, good job. So there's Joel who's caught back, Ian on his wheel. I'm happy to be back here, and people ride over the top. For me, the sprint is over at the top of the hill. For others, they like to keep driving through. Um, uh, I'm good either way. So there's Mike, hopefully congratulating me on the work that Curtis and I did. Nice attack. There goes Greg. Did a lot of work back there. Was caught out. And it looks like Greg's going to drive through and try to make it to the front. At this point, I'm not really inclined to do so. But recently, my Garmin has been telling him that my rides have been, well, unproductive or maintaining in whatever zone, anaerobic or aerobic or whatever. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is an indication that clearly I'm lazy or I don't like pain or whatever. And then I'm not really realizing my potential. And so I now decide that I should go with Greg and at least do a little something. And I'm throwing down a little bit of wattage, but not that much. It's not recovery, given where my heart rate is. So, um, gotta apologize for the AI doing some of this strange tracking editing. I know how to deal with it now, but I wasn't gonna go back and fix the video. So, Greg goes to the front driving hard. He's at the front. Ian tries to catch on. He sees me coming. He's kind of let me slot in here. Um, this is not too hard for me at this point. And I thought to myself, I could snatch this from Greg and make this a contest, but this is how things get out of hand. Every ride becomes a contest of speed. So, I got my work out of it, and it looks like so Ian and Mike, they were working pretty hard back there. and a good time was definitely had by all. Uh, Um, well done, everyone. Congrats to Curtis on his new bike. It seems to be a year for new bike people, and they're throwing it with Joel and everybody else. Bye.